Hello, chess people. Welcome back to another Endgame video in my series Endgames You Must Know to Be a Good Chess Player. This is part 6, and we are continuing our study of king and pawn endgames. Um, so we're going to go with the easiest one to remember, at least for me, and that's the case with the rook pawn. This is a rook pawn. A pawn or H pawn. Um, so we're going to identify which rook pawn positions are won and which rook pawn positions are drawn and which ones are won or drawn from the white side. So let's get started. So if we give white the move here, white will play this. Black will stay in the corner. The trick is to stay in the corner as much as you can. Here, 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 and when the white pawn gives the last check on the 7th rank, black moves to the corner, and white cannot move anywhere without giving up the pawn, and he cannot move here because this would be a stalemate, a nice draw. So, and the reason is because of the control of the key squares. So key squares, the key squares for rook pawn are here and here, and I think here. So if the king, if either king occupies, actually it's just here and here, b7 and b8. If the king occupies, if either king occupies either of those squares, the game is um, either won or drawn. So from the black side, if we if we occupy either square, it is drawn. If white is able to occupy this square, it is won. So let us um, let us manipulate the position um, to see a position where white would win. Oh, let's do no, let's do another draw just because we can. So in this position, here's another pattern that is really good for the if you're defending this endgame. Um, Basically, white is trying to get to these key squares, but black king is not allowing him to, so white tries to do this. King steps in opposition to this king here, and then the white king stays, or the black king stays on these squares to make the draw the as the uh, as the white king is now trapped. Um, and if the white king tries to get out and tries to promote the pawn that way, the black king occupies the square that it needs to draw the position, just like this. Draw. But let's go to the other position. So you can, as a defending side, you can, so that's why you can kind of trap the king against the side of the board, and the king can't go off the side of the board. So it's really, really fun how you can. Now, don't make the mistake and go here because the white king will go here and promote. So you keep him on the side of the board and it's a stalemate. All right, so let's manipulate the position um, to see an ending um, where white would win. Will be here. White's a move. If white is to move, they do not push the pawn. You take the key square. These are the key squares. And now the king is now shielding the pawn from the enemy king. So the king must go there, pawn goes up, pawn here, king over here, here, out, and is now protected by the king. King here, a7, and the king cannot ever capture this pawn, so white promotes and black now just resigns. So, so let's go back over what we went over. In a rook pawn situation, the defending side, either side has to gain control of these squares. So if the pawn were over here, let's say the pawn is over here, um, you need to control these squares to win or to draw the position. Um, if white gains control of the key squares, black is being shielded from the rook pawn's advance up the board and can never stop it. However, if white makes a mistake, black suddenly is controlling the key squares, and it is now a draw. Just like this. And there you go. That's pretty much all you have to know in king and pawn versus king endgames with a rook pawn. Um, all the other pawns have their own rules and endgames, and we'll go over all of those in due time. But I think this is the simplest case, the easiest to remember. Um, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy, please subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you can, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.